Welcome everyone to Intel Vision and our discussion on accelerating the Intel hardware ecosystem. My name is Trevor Vickers and I'm the Vice President and General Manager of the Business Management Group.
And I'm Rose Schooler, Corporate Vice President and General Manager of Data Center and AI Sales. Thank you for joining us today. We have an exciting set of updates to share about PC and data center market trends, plus industry leaders will join us to talk about market demand, where they're investing, collaborating, and winning to drive growth for the industry.
That's right, Rose. The digitization of everything is creating incredible opportunities for our industry that will take us all to even greater heights in the years ahead. To capture the unprecedented demand that we're seeing, it will require investments and collaborations across the industry. In a few minutes, we'll highlight some of the efforts that have already begun. Let's jump right in with a look at the market. We continue to see the fundamentals of the PC market evolve and drive lasting demand beyond the surge of the last 2 years. We also see new trends in financial services, education, retail, and enterprise emerging at sustained market levels.
That's awesome, Trevor. The digital renaissance is creating a surge in data center as well. And it's here that our Intel Xeon scalable processors are really delivering the capabilities our customers need to support their data center infrastructure and the demanding applications that are required.
As you know, we are continuously adapting to the changing landscape influenced by supply chain disruptions due to evolving global regulations and geopolitical conditions while forging the right strategic partnerships. Despite these challenges, the PC and data center markets are on track to deliver another big year. We are excited about the market opportunities and we're invested in helping our suppliers, our customers, and the industry capture these opportunities, not only for today, but for years to come. Let's talk more about the opportunities ahead of us.
The Data Center and AI Group's TAM, which includes our server CPUs, FPGAs, and AI accelerators, is really strong. The market is growing in the mid-teens over the 5-year horizon from about $30 billion in 2021 to over $65 billion in 2026. Our industry is on a path to sustained growth, driven by the digitization of everything. As data creation and consumption grows, data center architectures will continue to evolve. We're seeing greater use of heterogeneous solutions to deliver compute, like the emergence of IPUs for microservices, accelerators for deep learning training, and FPGAs for flexibility. Our customers are hungry for solutions that deliver higher performance in their real-world workloads. And they need a consistent software stack and better orchestration along the way.
What else are we seeing?
We're also seeing a large growth in the intelligent edge as compute requirements move closer to where data is being created. We see cloud as an architecture and deployment model that applies to all areas of infrastructure in all segments, from edge to cloud. And the demand for AI and security is relentless.
We hear this amplified by our customers and partners.
We sure do, Trevor. We are the only x86 data center CPU in the market with built-in AI acceleration. We all know that security is paramount to protect valuable business and personal assets, especially with today's really complex threat and regulatory environment. And it needs to be done intelligently, efficiently, and securely. That's where Intel's differentiated security features like Intel SGX continues to be used in unique deployment models, including great traction across healthcare and financial services.
This is an exciting time for all of us and a great opportunity for the technology industry.
Yes, our partners have great insight as well. So with that, I'd like to welcome Mike Yang, President of Quanta Cloud Technology, a global data center solution provider, to give us a little bit of a perspective on what he thinks is happening with cloud demand.
Throughout the years, Intel and QCT has been having a collaboration not only in hardware design for the most innovative systems based on Intel's latest CPU platforms, but also providing a workload-driven solutions by applying Intel's key ingredients like one API for cross-architecture or extremely high-performance Dell's storage. we have foreseen a tremendous smart infrastructure requirement for future metaverse world, which will be covering cloud, AI, 5G, and edge computing. With the solution and the ecosystem that Intel has built, QCT is ready for providing the smart infrastructure of the future.
Mike, we are all seeing greater demand for cloud compute. Can you speak to your insights on how we're going to sustain this demand?
We're seeing higher demand for centralized cloud computing more than ever, while the needs for edge computing is emerging as well. Also, we are observing the merge between the cloud and the edge with flourishing growth of 5G that enables all sorts of possibility by having AI everywhere. It's creating more business models that we could ever imagine. More excitingly, with all the key pieces are getting in place for the fundamental infrastructure, we envision the future is now.
I'm excited about all the possibilities. Thank you so much, Mike.
Rose, we have a strong data center roadmap. Can you give me some highlights across our roadmap?
Okay, so first of all, hopefully everyone has had a chance to watch our Intel investor meeting, where we revealed our expansion of our Intel Xeon processor roadmap. To put it simply, our latest third generation Xeon processor is the leadership product in the fastest growing workloads, including AI, networking, and security. And then we have Sapphire Rapids, which takes performance and workload optimization to a whole new level. Our portfolio of FPGAs and Optane, GPUs, accelerators, Ethernet, silicon photonics, wow, that's a mouthful. That's a lot of products. And with that, we have fully optimized software stacks that are unmatched in the industry.
And I know we had some big news as well.
Yes, we did. We officially disclosed that Emerald Rapids is coming next year. The processor comes with improvements in performance, memory, and security. And then after Emerald Rapids, we announced the expansion of our Xeon roadmap to leverage capabilities of our performance and efficient core portfolio with Granite Rapids and Sierra Forest. These new processors give customers the ability to harness leadership in performance per core and power performance with two distinct cores optimized for our data center workloads on a unified Xeon platform.
The client PC TAM continues to be strong as well. Our survey data is showing support for growth, and it indicates that these trends will be long-lasting and will drive a fundamental shift to the PC TAM trajectory.
That's excellent. Can you shed some light on how that's happening across the segments?
I sure can. We see an opportunity in nearly every compute segment. Opportunity for Intel and our ecosystem partners to deliver best-in-class solutions for every need. Also, 50% of active devices are more than 4 years old. Businesses and enterprise entities are adapting to the hybrid work model by refreshing aging PC installed base to enable remote workers to remain productive and secure. Devices with Intel vPro offer the best experience for remote work, instant wake, all-day battery life, security, and fast responsiveness. These offerings enable users to work from anywhere and stay in the flow all day long, with processing power to multitask while video conferencing. In education specifically, the need for flexible learning is here to stay as governments invest in distance learning. We see opportunities to increase the PC installed base in markets outside of the US as we strive to achieve a 1-to-1 student to PC ratio around the world. We should also point out that we are seeing a record rate of new business startups in the United States and many other countries worldwide, including India and Brazil. Many of these businesses are based online, driving even more need for PCs. We have data indicating that consumers are spending more time on PCs. PC usage growth has outpaced smartphone usage growth, and users are refreshing their devices sooner and more frequently. Our data also indicates there's increased PC device density in the household. With hybrid working and learning here to stay, there's an opportunity for the PC industry to deliver at least one device to every member of the household globally. With the PC more essential than ever, we expect to see single-digit growth throughout the horizon. In 2021 alone, the global PC shipments were greater than 340 million units. That's almost a million a day, 27% more than 2019. We also expect the PC unconstrained demand to continue to be above pre-pandemic levels.
There are exciting opportunities for our ecosystem partners to deliver their best-in-class solutions to customers. Now, let's welcome Ramsey Biani, Managing Director at Accenture. Ramsey, can you share with us the insights across the PC market?
We're seeing an exciting trend develop in the PC market. Before we dig deeper into this question, I think it is important to acknowledge that what we've been seeing over the past 18 to 24 months has largely been an anomaly in terms of hyper growth that we saw in the PC market, right? As everyone around the globe had to adjust to the challenges brought upon us by the pandemic. These unprecedented times have driven significant growth in every segment of the PC market, from consumer to gaming to education, and of course, businesses enabling their users to work remotely. Looking ahead, while we do expect some stabilization to occur as we move towards our new normal, we still expect near-term trends to deliver growth.
Can you also maybe share purchasing trends that you're seeing in enterprise?
First of all, on the consumer front, right, we're seeing sustained year-over-year growth of internet penetration. If we look further into that, you now have multiple companies looking to further improve worldwide access to high-speed internet. Think of companies like HughesNet, Viasat, SpaceX's Starlink, and now Amazon being the latest to announce such aspirations to provide broadband connections for people outside densely populated areas, where adoption of cable and fiber are harder to come by. I truly believe this will support a change in purchasing trends in the consumer segment. Second of all, as employers are still trying to figure out their policies around hybrid work, finding the right balance between in-person versus remote working, mobility is key, right? And as a consequence, we're seeing an inevitable increase in demand for notebooks, which is influencing purchasing trends in that segment. And lastly, bring your own device has been gaining in popularity, where employees bring their own hardware to work and access, either a published desktop or an application from their company. That market segment is expected to grow tenfold from 2014 levels. And this is largely made possible by advancements in technologies like modern endpoint management. Think of VMware AirWatch, Microsoft Intune, among others, which today allow companies to manage devices or deliver managed applications that conform to their security standards. So for these reasons, I believe we can confidently support what independent research has shown is, a long-term sustained market demand, at least for the foreseeable future.
You're spot on. PC users want mobility. Overall, I'm really excited about the future TAM. The consumer business will continue to remain above pre-pandemic levels. Students and teachers need computers to flex and learn from school and home. And enterprise businesses need to supply their workers with devices to work from home or to work in hybrid work models.
That's it, Rose. As the pandemic taught us, the PC is indispensable. Let's shift gears and talk about what our ecosystem executives shared with us during an Intel-sponsored executive-to-executive event.
That's right, Trevor. We asked, how can we work better together to ensure a more robust supply strategy? What steps are needed to better support product development? And what additional steps are required to improve guidance in product planning?
Leading a team that's focused on this effort is Bauman Molem, Vice President and General Manager of Global Supply Chain. We had a chance to speak to Bauman earlier to hear his views on how his team is helping to solve the supply constraints with the ecosystem.
Look, there is no secret that the entire ecosystem is constrained right now. Our collective teams are speaking almost daily to collaborate and identify solutions and how we are able to solve some of these challenges ahead of us. There are our customers and your customers. What I'm hearing is nothing new, whether it's a wafer or substrate capacity that remains to be highly challenging for us. The good news is some of our key suppliers are investing heavily to address the market opportunity. We heard you loud and clear, and we took that to heart. Our collaborations at multiple different levels of organizations is enabling to provide a roadmap and conversation at the right time to ensure a flawless execution moving forward. The one unintended positive outcome of this current environment is the level of collaborations we are all engaging and has never been seen before. I hope this is just the beginning of how we will partner in the future.
It's great news that the industry has jumped in to collaborate and find solutions for our customers. One thing is for sure, to meet the extraordinary demand that we're seeing, we need to make investments that support demand and the ecosystem. Our CEO, Pat Gelsinger, saw this vision more than a year ago when he joined Intel, and we have been making investments in our future and our customers' future ever since.
Intel's investments in new manufacturing capacity supports a more geographically balanced, resilient supply chain.
That's right. In the Americas, our investments include more than $20 billion for 2 new Arizona leading-edge chip plants, support for advanced packaging technologies in New Mexico, $20 billion for 2 factories in Columbus, Ohio, and a $3 billion factory expansion plan in Oregon.
That's unreal. Intel is also investing in the European Union and in Asia. In Europe, we plan to invest more than $86 billion focused on research and development, manufacturing, and state-of-the-art packaging technologies. This includes more than $18 billion in a leading-edge semiconductor factory megasite in Germany. And in Asia, we're investing more than $7 billion to build a new chip packaging and test factory in Malaysia.
Wow, and there's more.
There certainly is. To accelerate our end-to-end foundry business, we have entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Tower Semiconductor, an Israeli-based leading foundry for analog semiconductor solutions. We're also setting up a $1 billion innovation fund to help startups and companies using foundry services. And in addition to our manufacturing and foundry investments, we're also investing in software. We announced an agreement to acquire Granulate, an Israeli-based developer of real-time, continuous optimization software. This will help our cloud and data center customers maximize compute workload performance and reduce infrastructure and cloud costs. Big investments in software.
No doubt about it. We are at an incredible inflection point in our industry.
We are indeed. These global investments are so important that we've made them part of our IDM 2.0 strategy. Through our internal factory network, external foundries, and Intel Foundry Services, we're poised to meet the growing global demand for semiconductor manufacturing capacity. And while we manufacture for the future with our IDM 2.0 strategy, Intel technology is delivering innovation now to meet the needs of our customers. That brings up a really important topic, investing in our partners' growth. We're working on several efforts to support our partners.
You got it. Later this year, Intel plans to introduce a new hardware ecosystem partner program to help our partners improve time to market with new technologies and solutions to win new business. We are also updating our product and platform planning processes. And recently, we worked through our own capacity challenges. We are also supporting our component partners to help them solve their capacity challenges. These efforts are only the beginning of a much stronger partnership with our ecosystem.
Our partnership with ON Semiconductor is a great example of making impactful moves in the ecosystem, both on the client and the data center side of the business.
Please share.
Who better to tell us than Robert Tong, Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Mobile Computing and Cloud Division at ON Semiconductor. Welcome, Robert. What changes are you seeing in the PC market?
Well, we all know how the pandemic has driven cloud usage substantially in data consumption, etc. From the video conferencing that people are doing, online gaming when you couldn't really be with your friends, and also even fitness at home. However, I do see a longer trend of increased demand on cloud services going forward still, mainly because a lot of the more sophisticated applications like artificial intelligence, autonomous driving, and factory automation makes a lot more sense that they are done in the cloud rather than have each individual company develop their own application and their own systems. So I think the growth and drive in cloud is going to continue beyond what we have seen from the consumer in the pandemic stage.
Some really exciting trends and fantastic investments globally. Can you spend another minute talking about the future of cloud?
Well, clearly right now the demand is very high and capacity is very constrained. So in addition to the usual thing that everybody is doing, which is increasing in capacity, increasing in throughput, we're also looking at improvement in technologies. For example, on the PC power side, we're looking at full digital solutions that would help enhance the flexibility in the incorporation of our product, and also allow our customers who build the PCs greater flexibility to use a same set of product over a broader spectrum of the end equipment. So by concentrating a solution that can support multiple configurations, it's going to help not only with the supply issue, but also give our customer lower cost and greater flexibility. In addition to that, we're also looking at investing in technology to make our product even more efficient and smaller. PCs aren't getting any bigger, and if you have more PC at home, you're going to want them smaller. So we're looking at investing in technology that will make the next generation power products more efficient, smaller, longer battery life.
What an awesome opportunity in cloud. Thanks, Robert. This is a good time to talk to a few of our partners about how our collaborative efforts create opportunities to uncover new markets and drive collective business value. We're pleased to welcome another special partner, Tiffany Wong, COO of Acer. Tiffany, how is Acer accelerating the ecosystem?
Working closely with Intel, we were able to minimize the impact and continue to fulfill the demand brought by work from home and distance learning. We appreciate Intel taking the initiative to foster collaboration across the ecosystem. Our collaboration continues beyond just driving for product with better performance and also sustainability. Together, we are bringing green and energy-efficient products to the market.
Thanks for also sharing your sustainability partnership efforts. Our environmental projects and company-wide targets are driving reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, energy use, water use, and waste generation around the world.
Now, I'd like to introduce John Miletus, Vice President of Product Engineering for Chrome OS at Google, to tell us what his areas of business are that he's seeing near-term and long-term market growth.
Yeah, over the last few years, we've seen double-digit growth across all segments. We continue to see strong Chrome OS adoption among enterprise, consumer, and education users. In addition to the US, we've been really excited to see Chrome OS adoption in international markets, several markets in Asia and in EMEA, and kind of paved the way. And now we're starting to see even more near-term demand in those markets. And it's not just market expansion, but it's also really exciting new form factors where we're starting to see excellent demand. Few examples, we've got a Chrome base, which is an all-in-one. We've got one from HP and one from Acer that we launched last year. And then high-end enterprise Chromebooks with Intel vPro, like the HP Dragonfly. There's another one from Asus, the Chromebook Flip CX5. That HP Elite Dragonfly, that's going to be the first device with Intel vPro for Chrome Enterprise. Some press have already lauded it as a potential best Chromebook ever. And so the market and the near-term demand there is really hot right now, and we're just ecstatic to bring that particular device to market. Right. So if you take that past growth and you consider this new the international market expansion, and then just an incredibly exciting roadmap of devices through really close collaboration with the entire ecosystem and increased investment levels across all of the partners in the ecosystem, we're just really incredibly excited about a lot of the near-term demand and being able to fulfill that.
Great partnerships with HP and Acer. Can you say more about user adoption in education?
Yeah, Chrome OS has always had an incredibly strong foundation in education, but we've really continued to grow in consumer and enterprise. And we've recently announced that in the education market, over 50 million students and educators are using Chromebooks, with a healthy number of them powered by Intel. And so for students, enterprises, and consumers, we've seen this just accelerated adoption of users as the computing platform that really best suits their needs, their price points, and their use cases. And we're continuing to evolve and meet those user needs, especially as that future of work shifts. And we really expect our growth to continue to rise as these user needs evolve.
We are also excited about how we're building the future with our Taiwan partners. To give us an update, I'd like to welcome Grace Wang, Vice President of Sales and Marketing Group and GM of Intel Taiwan.
Taiwan plays a pivotal role in the global technology supply chain and has the holistic and robust ecosystem here, from IC design, manufacturing, packaging, and testing, with hundreds of components, hardwares, and software vendors, ODM and OEM partners, to cloud service providers and communication service providers, all working together to build a strong network to fill the global demand and market growth. Intel's vision is to create the world-changing technology that improves the life of every person on the planet. And Taiwan Ecosystem has been one of the most critical partners to bring that vision to life. Taiwan Ecosystem has been working with Intel more than 3 decades and investing with Intel to build a very unique end-to-end ecosystem that become the epicenter for technology product designs, scaling to meet worldwide computing needs. To the global market, Taiwan ODM partners now design and ship more than 80% of the PC products, more than 90% of the data center servers, and more than 30% of the IoT devices. Our ODM partners are also expanding design centers, factories, assembly sites, and service centers across the world, with new investment in Southeast Asia, United States, Mexico, Czech Republic, and more countries for a more balanced and resilient supply chain that plays an important role to support the strong demand in the world over the past years. Taiwan is one of the best partners in our journey in technology innovation.
Thanks, Grace. It's great to hear that we're driving momentum with strategic alignments that include industry partners who help our customers succeed and drive growth for the industry.
That's a ton of great stuff, Trevor. Now let's welcome Emily Hong, Chief Executive Officer of WeWin, a cloud IT infrastructure provider. Emily, can you talk about WeWin's partnership with Intel and how our innovation supports data centers?
WeWin has implemented a lot of innovations into data centers by utilizing Intel cutting-edge technologies in CPU, networking, memory, and accelerator. We also achieve times of latency improvement for workload like streaming through Intel Fast Track program. Really appreciate the great support and work from the Intel team. Having a strategic partner has a leadership position in various elements required to build data center rack is key to WeWin's scalability. Partnership with the ecosystem is our key to success. From design, production, supply, and after service every stage, we need support from ecosystem partners. It's even more critical when innovating for challenges in the fast-moving industry. We have seen the increasing needs for advanced cooling, DC-SCM, 48-volt power, and OpenBMC, and there will be more to come. None of them can be realized without the ecosystem's effort together.
That's awesome, Emily. What about ecosystem collaborations? Can you expand a bit on what you're doing?
Multiple collaboration projects are undergoing in WeWin. We need partners, and Intel is one of the best. We both actively participate in open compute projects. We share and team up the open hardware community. We believe the collective contribution from the ecosystem is the only way to grow the industry and unleash the power of cloud platform. It's great to see this effort in rallying the ecosystem to invest and collaborate to win.
We also believe that the collective contributions across our ecosystem will grow the industry. Thank you so much, Emily, for joining us today.
Rose, this is a good time to dive into the planning process. How the hardware ecosystem plans for growth impacts investments, collaborations, and capacity. Everything we've reviewed today. I'd like to welcome Stu Pan, Intel's Senior Vice President of Corporate Planning.
Hi, Rose. Hi, Trevor. Thank you for having me here today.
Stu, why is ecosystem planning and investing so critical to the future of our industry?
You know, what's fascinating about the client business today is that it's at a new normal. There's this idea now of hybrid work, the idea that you can work both at home and in the office and be interchangeable. For a client to be able to do that, we need security, we need manageability, we need connectivity. And as a result, new clients out today have all those capabilities. So IT departments around the world are investing in getting their workforce highly capable clients to support this new kind of hybrid work style. And as a result, we've seen the PC TAM go upwards to 360 million units for this year alone, almost 1 million units a day. This is the new normal of PC demand, and I suspect that as we progress, work styles aren't going to go back to the old way of doing things, and this hybrid work style, which supports this client demand, is going to be the new normal going forward.
What is Intel doing to ensure we're meeting customer demand?
Well, there's this idea of a virtual cycle, that the more intense computing environments you have at home, the more cloud compute environments are created. And if you think about it, the world is doing more and more video conferencing, more and more collaboration. All of these approaches require both compute at the client and compute at the data center. And also we've seen the rise of e-commerce and different kinds of collaboration in how to create new business models. All of these approaches are going to keep fueling each other, and as a result, we're seeing great growth in our server business and also great growth in the client business.
Okay, Stu, one last question. What's needed for the ecosystem to be successful in this dynamic, unpredictable market where we're seeing explosive growth in semiconductors?
Well, the PC business has always been an ecosystem business. No one company supplies everything you need to make a PC. We supply CPUs, Microsoft supplies operating systems, partners like Samsung supply memory. So for us to be successful, we must all work together. We are making the investments necessary to grow this business. You can see by the capital we're spending, by the software we're enabling, by the partnerships we're trying to bring forward with all of you, that we're serious about taking this business and growing it even farther. You can rely on us to keep building on our investments with you, to give you more transparency and more ideas around where we could go together in order to make this an even bigger business for all of us.
That's great advice, Stu. Thank you for joining us today.
Summarizing what we've heard today, our industry is at an important inflection point. And to win, we must invest and work together. Data predicts growth across multiple market segments, and the industry leaders you heard from today are as excited as we are about the potential for expansion. We're working closely with our ecosystem partners and customers, including component suppliers, ODMs, OEMs, to capture the huge opportunities in front of us.
Exactly right, Rose. The time is now to invest in our future and work together to grow our industry.
Let's do this.
Thank you all for attending. We look forward to the next time we can all be together for another discussion on accelerating the Intel hardware ecosystem. In the meantime, let's continue to invest and collaborate to support our customers and win together.